Hello everyone, this is Professor J. Kim. Drop-down menu. That's what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you how to create drop-down menu and hyperlink it using Adobe Dreamweaver. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel, hit the like button, and set the alarm for my latest video. Then let's get started. Okay, first, please download the images from the link I provided in my description and create one new root folder. I named it Gourmet Kitchen, and then inside of that, I created another images folder, and I put all the images you downloaded in this folder. So it's gonna look like this. So under my Gourmet Kitchen root folder, images folder, and the images. Okay. Now, open Dreamweaver. We're going to define the site first. So go to Site menu, New Site. Site name is going to be Gourmet Kitchen. And my root folder is that folder. That is Gourmet Kitchen. Okay, so that's my root. Choose it. And then advanced settings, local info, default images folder. This is the only one I'm going to define. So I'll click on the browse button and the images folder. Choose it and save it. Okay, now check your files tab on your right. So site name Gourmet Kitchen is correct, and there are images folder with the images. Okay, it's good. Now go to Dreamweaver. We're going to create a new file. New. It's going to be a document type HTML, framework, bootstrap, create new, and we're not going to include any pre-built layout. We're going to start from scratch and create it. Okay, now select your body tab in your DOM, Document Object Model panel, body. You see the blue outline. So click inside the body. It turns to the orange or yellowish, goldish color. And then I'm going to insert, go to the Insert tab, open the Insert tab. Please choose Bootstrap Component. We're going to need the big container first, container. This container will be nested inside of my body, so nest. So container, see? Now click inside the container. I'm going to have the nav bar first. So go to Bootstrap Component, Insert tab, still there, and choose Navbar. Please choose the basic navbar. It's going to be nested in the container. So that's what we have. So check your DOM panel. I'm going to make it a little bit simpler. So first, in my container, I have a navbar, and then reveal the submenus, and the very bottom one, and reveal. And the form, see that? It is highlighted. I don't need it. I don't need the search window. So let me delete that. And also, reveal. And there are items. I don't want to keep that disabled. So delete the disabled. And then I'm going to keep that drop down. But I'm going to insert a few more. So select the nav item, the link one. This one. Not the drop down one. And then let me make a copy, Control, click, and duplicate it. I'm going to do one more time, Control, click, duplicate it. Okay, so home, and then the link, this one, I'm going to change it to, so compare, once you select it, compare that. You will see the where I am. So let me highlight it. I'm going to change it to about. Okay, and then on this one, I'm going to have as events, and then another one, FAQs, frequently asked questions, and the last one, the drop down, you see that? I'm going to change it to menu. Just like that. Okay, and then I don't like the other position of this menu. I want to have the menu button next to about. Okay, so home, about, menu, events, and FAQs. So what I'm going to do is my FAQs here. Let me collapse it, make it a little bit simpler. So that's my drop down. Choose that and drag it between there. See? So navbar, home, about, menu, events, and FAQs. So let me save it first. Save as. I'm going to save as index.html in my root folder. Index.html. Let me check on a web browser. You see the index.html? So it looks good. Navbar, home, about, menu, drop down menu bottom. See that? There are the 3 items. Action, another action, something else here. I don't like that. I want to have the breakfast, lunch, and the dinner. And I don't want to keep there something else with this bar. So I'm going to make some change. Let me fix that. So go back here. So select your drop-down menu, that one, which is here, the drop-down menu. So watch this. Once you choose your drop-down menu item, Dreamweaver highlights your code. See? And then the very bottom 2 line, this 2, something else here, I don't want that. So I'll highlight those 2 lines and delete it. And then my first item is going to be, you remember the action and then another action. So I'm going to change these actions to breakfast. And the next one, another action, supposed to be lunch. Let me highlight it. And lunch. I need one more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this whole line. See? A class, drop down item, href equal lunch. So copy this and just paste it. And change the lunch to dinner. Dinner. Okay. So let's save it and see. Let me refresh this window. So home, about, menu, see that? Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then another item is gone. So it looks good now. And also, I want to locate this navbar, my navigation buttons on the right. So let me go back to my Dreamweaver. This time, select my entire navbar. See that? Then it will highlight your entire code. And just to change this MR auto, so margin right auto, change it to margin left. See? So it is working. I'm going to save it. And let me double check on my web browser. On my web browser, let me refresh it. See? So it is working fine. Okay, looks good. Now let me replace this navbar, this placeholder text as a logo with my logo. So back to Dreamweaver, select the navbar, which is here, delete it, and go to HTML insert tab, insert the image, and choose the logo.png. It will look a little odd. You see the white text is very subtle. We're going to change it later. And I'm going to change the size. Click on this, the 3 bar buttons. Let me change the height to maybe 60. And check the make image responsive. Okay, 60. Or you can make it even smaller. Let me try 50. Yep, 50 is good. Gourmet kitchen. All right. Then let me save it. I'm going to double check. Refresh. Yes. Everything looks good. Now back to here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have just a one placeholder image for each page. So select your navbar. Select your navbar. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert the image in HTML insert tab. Insert the image. This image will go after my navbar. So after, let me import the first one, home.jpg. So it doesn't fit. and click on this the three bar buttons, hamburger button, and check make image responsive. Okay, so it looks good. So this is a welcome to gourmet kitchen. Let me save it again. I'm gonna double check on my web browser. So it looks good, and it is responsive. It looks good. Yes. Okay, let me go back to Dreamweaver. And then also, since as I told you, we're going to make a hyperlink, but we don't have any other pages yet. So we're going to create the hyperlink first, and we're going to create the actual HTML files after. It's a kind of a backward, but it works fine. So let's do this. So first, select your home button, your home, which is this. You see that? Home. So once you highlight it, right before the home button, you see the href tag. That's for the linking. So I'm going to delete the font sign, and I'm going to link to index, which is the homepage, .html, index.html. Okay, so home button is good. Now, about button. See the about? Right before about, you see the href tag. So delete the font sign. We don't have the about.html yet, but I'm going to make a link first. About.html. Oh, not comma. About dot. Sorry. About.html. I will do the same thing for the events. Let me do the events first. Right before events, href tag, delete the font sign. That's going to be events.html. Same thing for FAQ. FAQ.html. Okay. Now, the menu, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Same thing. So you see the breakfast here. Right before breakfast, in href tag, delete the font sign. I'm going to make a link to breakfast.html. For the lunch, same thing. Lunch.html. And same way, dinner.html. Dinner.html. Okay, so looks good. Okay, so let me save it first. And now I want to do something on my the nav bar. It's kind of it's too plain. It doesn't look pretty. So go to CSS Designer. And since I'm going to change something on my nav bar, so let me select my nav bar only. This entire nav bar. So we're going to stylize it. So open CSS Designer. We're going to create a new source. Click on this plus button. Create a new CSS file, cascading style sheet file, to stylize your menu bar, your nav bar. I'm going to rename it style.css. Okay. And then still my nav bar is selected. Now your choice is a style.css, the one we just created. I'm going to add selectors of my nav bar by clicking this plus button and hit the return. Then let me change the background in this properties panel. Background. I'm going to apply the gradient. So top color, select the top, black, bottom color, kind of a darker like a chocolate color, and return. So we have that. It's pretty. Problem is, I can barely read my text, my menus. So I'm selecting my second one, which is about. Then, same thing. That nav link is highlighted, same way. You see the orange bar and the other outline. In your CSS Designer panel, style.css is selected. And I'm going to add this as a new selector, plus. Hit the return. And let me change the text color in properties panel. Let me choose kind of an orangish color. So it looks good. Okay, so it looks good. Let me save it. Before you save it, make sure you save there your style CSS and then a source code as well. So I'm selecting my style.css. You see that in this tab. Go to File. Let me just save as just to make sure. I'm going to replace it. Style.css, and let me replace it. My source code, File, CSS, save as the index.html, and replace it. And let me double check. Refresh. See? It looks, yep, there's no link yet. And I want to try this. Okay, here's another problem. There's the drop-down menu. You see that? But I can barely see it. It's too dark. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the background of that hamburger button. So back to Dreamweaver, reduce your window size by moving this tab. Okay, so the hamburger button is supposed to be somewhere here. See that? It's there. Once you select it, you can see that navbar toggler icon is selected. I will do the same thing. Style.css is selected. That's my style. And then selectors, clicking on this plus button, add a new selectors and hit the return. And let me change the background color to, in the properties panel, kind of a lighter gray. See? So you can maybe even lighter. That's better. Okay. I'll do the same thing. Select your style.css first, save it, and your source code, save it. Save as. Okay, let me double check on my web browser. Let me refresh my page. See? Now you can see my drop-down menu. Okay, so I'm back. Now it's time to make a link. As we all know, we created a link, a hyperlink from each button, but we don't have any pages yet. So here's what we can do. Go to Files, and select your index.html, the only one index HTML document we have. I'm going to duplicate it. One for about, one for breakfast, one for lunch, one for dinner, one for events, one for FAQs. So we're going to have 6 pages. So 6 more. About, breakfast, lunch, dinner, FAQs, events. So 6 more. So select that, hold down the Control key, click on the index.html, edit, and duplicate it, Command D. Okay, so same way, I'm going to make a copy of this. Control, click, edit, duplicate it, edit, duplicate it, edit, duplicate it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 more. Edit, oops, sorry. No. Control click, edit, duplicate it, and I need 1 more. Control click, edit, duplicate it. Then let me just change the name of each file. So that's going to be about.html. That one's going to be breakfast.html. And the lunch.html, and dinner.html, and events.html, and FAQ.html. FAQ.html. Okay, so we have all linked. We just need to change the image. So this is the index.html. Let me double click about.html. About.html. See? Select your image. Click on this 3-bar button just to replace the image to about.jpg, about us. Okay, so I'm going to save it. Now let me open breakfast.html. Double click. So it's a breakfast.html. Select image, 3-bar button, hamburger button. Replace your image with breakfast.jpg and save it. Now launch. Double click launch.html. Select your image. Click on this 3-bar button, hamburger button. Replace the image with the launch.jpg and save it. Now dinner. Select your image. Replace it with dinner.jpg and save it. Now events. Select your image. Make sure you are working on this events.html document and replacing to events.jpg. Looks good. And save it. And the last one, FAQ. Select your image. Replace it with FAQ.jpg and save it. And we are done because we made a link already. So back to my web browser. I'm going to refresh it. So we are here, home, about us, menu, breakfast, menu, lunch. Oh, something's wrong. Let me double check. On my menu, breakfast, lunch.html. I think it is correct. And dinner.html. Lunch. Oh, I misspelled. Sorry. That's my bad. Lunch. See? Let me change it to no I. Lunch.html. I'm going to resave it. Let me resave my lunch.html. Lunch.html. Okay. So I'm going to resave it. Save as, again, launch.html. Replace it. Okay. Let me double check. It was misspelled. Breakfast, lunch. Lunch is good. Dinner. Dinner is good. Events, FAQs. Mobile version. About. Menu, breakfast. It's a breakfast page. Menu, lunch page. Menu, and dinner. And events and FAQs. And we can go home anytime. Welcome to Gourmet Kitchen. Oh, there's one more thing. I also want to define this logo as a home button as well. So let's do that. Select. If sometimes when you work on Dreamweaver, it's a very good kind of example. If this happens, like this one, the gray one, and then just close that and reopen it. It should work. Okay, right now it's going to be working. Here, and just in this link area, just insert the index.html. Then it should work. Index.html. Okay, I should have done this before. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing for my about index.html. Index.html. My breakfast page, breakfast, index.html. and my lunch. Lunch.html, no, index.html. Okay. It's that name, lunch. Yes. And dinner, yeah, you can do the same way. And my dinner, select your button and linking to index.html. Event, same thing. Click there, link to index.html. And FAQs, my logo, link to index.html. My lunch, yep. I'm going to close it. I'm going to reopen it. My lunch.html. Okay. And here, link to oh, it is already done. Yep, it's there. Okay. So it should work. Okay, from here, let me refresh. I can go to a breakfast menu. I can go home from here, or I can go home from here too. Home. FAQs, home. Yeah. So it is working this way. So you can create the drop-down menu and you can hyperlink it using Dreamweaver. So I hope that you enjoyed this video and you can use it for your future project. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.